Hello, I've been having some trouble with my trail cameras fogging up on the lens. And this is the outside. This is basically because the glass is colder than the surrounding air and fog just sticks to it. So I looked at various ways to take care of this, from blowing things on it to putting a heater on it, like some professional cameras have, but they usually have something to grab onto to do that. The other way is actually to treat the lens using substances like Rain X and some other things that are out there. I was a little concerned about some of my cameras having plastic lenses, and some of these chemicals can etch that plastic. So I took another approach and I said, who else has glasses that don't like having a lot of fog? And that's people who wear glasses, the millions of them out there, if not billions. And I did a little research on that, and they say basically just swathe liquid soap on it, let it dry, and then polish it off, and it works really well. Well, it did really work really well. I've been wearing glasses most of my life, and I never heard about that. So let's go ahead and show you how we do this. First of all, you're going to need some type of soap. I'm just using plain old dishwasher soap. This is what's worked for me. If you are worried about wild animals being impelled by that smell, get an unscented version of it. A little cloth to put it on with, and then a microfiber towel. Now this is the type of towel that I use for polishing regular eyeglasses on here. So the first thing that we do is just take just a little dab like this, and I'm just going to smear it around on the lens. Just smear it on like that. And then I'm going to let it dry. Now they say go about 15 minutes, and that is dry enough for you to be able to use this to buff it off. So let's go ahead and stop the video here, and I'll start back up in about 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes now. So we're going to take the little cloth here, and you can see it's pretty smudged on that lens. And so we're going to really polish it at this point. Just take this off like this, and you can definitely see the smears that are on there. So you have to keep on wiping this until you no longer see any of the smears. And you can start seeing there's a little bit of on the edge, but it comes off pretty easy. And there you go. See, so nothing there. Now, this is what I've done with my other cameras, and I was amazed. I have my cameras in locations that condensation is going to show up pretty easily. They're low to the ground because I'm pretty much doing it around my home, and I'm looking at that angle for the animals. If you keep your camera higher in a tree, aimed downward a little bit as you're trying to hide your camera, you're going to get a little less condensation on that. Also, I've been taken to using milk cartons, cutting out the side of them and sticking the camera inside, and that kind of protects it from direct influences of things like rain and such, and it helps, but not completely. Condensation has been my foe, and I dread it when I see the fog roll in. The other thing that I've noticed, I have other surveillance cameras around my house, and since they have 24/7 infrared lights going on them, the lenses are slightly warm in the surrounding area, and they never fog up. So we have to worry about battery conservation, or that we can't really heat ours up. But it would be kind of an interesting situation if you would have backup power, if we can find a way to heat these lenses without covering over the lens. Anyway, any questions, be glad to answer any of them in the comments below. And this worked for me, and it was a solution, and I hope it works for you.
Please remember to subscribe and share this video to help disabled animals with donated wheelchairs.